All right, welcome back. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the internet's absolute best, most wonderfully bizarre legends. It's a story all about conviction, about destiny, and, well, about unexpectedly mundane problems. Get ready, this is the story of the Eagle Man. So let's just start with this question. What's the real test of what you believe? Is it staring down all the people who doubt you? Is it overcoming some impossible odds? Or is it something totally different? Just kind of keep that in the back of your head as we get into the story of a guy who was absolutely 100% certain of who he was. Okay, so our story kicks off with the birth of a single, powerful belief. I mean, like all the great myths, right? It all starts with one totally unshakable idea, a conviction so pure, so intense, that it basically becomes the single defining thing about our hero. So, what is the Eagle Man Saga? Well, it's not just some one-off viral video. It's actually a whole series of sketches. And the guy at the center of it all is just an adult man. He's not putting on a costume. He's not playing a character for laughs. No, in his world, his reality, he just is what he says he is. And there you have it. That's the core belief, the absolute bedrock truth of his entire world. He says it with zero irony, no hesitation at all. I am an eagle. It's this beautiful, absurd simplicity that gets the whole thing started. See, for him, it's not up for debate. It's just a fact. But, what good is a belief if you don't act on it? And if you're an eagle, what's your one true purpose in life? It's to fly, right? So that brings us to the next part of his quest, the Great Desert Flight. This is his hero's journey to the one place where he can finally live his truth. And honestly, his plan is kind of beautiful in its simplicity. It's almost logical, if you just accept that first part. So, step one, insist you're an eagle. Check. Step two, go to a huge open space where a magnificent creature like you can spread its wings. Say the desert. And step three, the big one, attempt flight. It kind of makes sense in its own weird way. So off he goes. Just picture it for a second. This guy trekking out into this massive empty desert. The sun is just beating down. The stage is totally set for this epic, life-changing moment. This is it. This is where he's going to leave his human life behind and become the eagle he's always known he is. Now, every hero's journey has that one big obstacle, right? There's always a dragon to slay or some arch nemesis to defeat. But our Eagle Man? Nope. His destiny wasn't some cliché battle. His challenge was going to be a whole lot weirder. So he's there. He's made it. He's on the edge of glory. You can just feel it, right? He's flapping his arms. He's getting a feel for the wind. He's getting ready for that one big leap of faith that's going to prove everything. And then he sees it. And it's not a cliff. It's not a thunderstorm. It's not even someone there to laugh at him. He finds something that has zero business being where it is. Something that just completely pulls the rug out from under this epic story he's living. And this, right here, is the absolute genius of the whole thing. Look at this. On one side, you have his desert expectations. Sand, sun, being all alone, and, flight. And on the other side, the what-the-heck baffling reality. A boat. In the middle of the desert. And it has a flat tire. His grand spiritual quest to fly gets completely sidelined by maybe the most boring, everyday problem you could ever imagine. Okay, so why is this so funny? Why do we remember this? How did this incredibly weird little story become an internet legend? Let's actually break down the anatomy of why this joke works so perfectly. It really comes down to a super simple formula for what makes something absurd. First, you need a character who is 100% committed to a totally wild idea. In this case, I'm an eagle. Then you send that character on a big, serious quest to prove that idea. But then, and this is the key, at the big moment, you don't argue with him. You just interrupt the whole thing with a completely unrelated, boring, real-world problem. And that's the real magic right there. The joke isn't just, haha, this guy thinks he's a bird. The real joke is that the universe doesn't even bother to challenge him on it. Instead, it just throws this incredibly normal, totally out-of-place problem at him that makes his entire grand quest feel, well, completely irrelevant. Which really leaves us with one last thing to think about. When you're standing in the middle of a huge, empty desert, what's actually the weirder thing to see? Is it a man who truly believes he can fly? Or is it a boat, a literal boat, stuck with a problem it shouldn't even have? It's that question that just perfectly sums up the weird, surreal beauty of the whole Eagle Man saga.